we have a ton to go over. Diggy's going to be sharing with you this business model that he's been using for the last few years to make millions of dollars. Okay, and this is basically the best business that I could probably think of right now, which is starting a really cool niche agency. And he's going to be sharing with you basically how some of the fastest growing companies in the world, the companies that are making onto the INT 500, INT 5000, which actually the Hot is probably going to be on that list this year, by the way. I didn't know if you knew that, but some of the fastest companies in the world, or fastest growing companies in the world, have been using this model. And so Diggy's going to be breaking down exactly what that is and how you can just take that and build your own six-figure niche marketing. With that said, I guess I'll just turn it over to Diggy and let him take it from here.
Thanks, Clayton. I appreciate that nice introduction.
For sure.
Yeah, so I'm going to take this away. The best online business model of 2017. I'm going to show you how to go from $0 to $100,000 per year in just 90 days or less. Okay, and if you've been on any sort of online marketing, in the internet marketing space, you might be thinking, wow, that's a really big claim to make. This must be a scam. Just relax, okay? It's 100% the real deal, and I'm going to share a ton of value with you, actionable stuff, like Clayton said, that you can take away and that you can start applying to your business and making money with, okay? And my promise to you is to teach you how to set up your own profitable, location-independent, niche online marketing agency in 90 days or less from scratch. And the most important thing is that I'm going to teach you how to do this without being technical and without knowing how to perform SEO or digital marketing. I know that's a big worry for a lot of people when you talk about online marketing agency. You actually don't need to know how to do the actual digital marketing yourself. I'm going to show you all of that in this presentation. And I'm also going to reveal to you my own strategy of how I'm able to land and close 5- and 6-figure per year clients, okay? And this is a strategy that's super easy to copy. It works in pretty much any industry, any niche, and it's from the years that I've been doing this is just my favorite strategy, and it gets me the most clients, okay? And just to get your attention, please turn off all your distractions, okay? Right now, I need your focus on this presentation because I want to deliver this value, okay? So turn off your Skype, turn off your messengers, put your phone on silent, etc. And just for the next, 55, 60 minutes, I want to show you how to build a real online business, okay? And I'm going to start this off by showing you how just one of our marketing agency businesses made almost $1.5 million in the last 2 years while I was working part-time and traveling the world. And that is an important thing to understand, okay? It's not a full-time business. I don't need to be tied to an office or glued to my screen. I'm able to move, literally to work and build this from pretty much anywhere in the world with an internet connection, and I can choose my own time. So that's very important. I'm going to show you how to do the same. So just here, this is in 2015, PayPal screenshot, one of our PayPal accounts, over $1 million in that one, and then in 2016, $458,000. The reason why it was less is because we just moved over from PayPal to different payment processors, because as you can see here in 2015 when we did $1 million, that's $37,000 in PayPal fees, plus even with this 450K at 17, that's almost $60,000 in PayPal fees. That's like a full-time salary. It's pretty ridiculous. So we ended up shifting away from that as much as we can. So I want to share with you a little bribe, okay? So if you stay until the very end of this webinar, what I'm going to do is I'm going to share a link to a downloadable PDF summary, which is going to be the summary of this webinar and all the slides and the content, so that you can refer back to it at a later stage. It's a useful little thing, so stick around and I'm going to share that with you. Okay, so I just want to real quick tell you what this webinar is about and what kind of person this webinar will apply to. Okay, so this is for you if you want to learn how to make money in an enormous industry. Okay, digital marketing is one of the fastest growing industries. I'm going to show you a little bit of stats in a second later in this presentation. It's literally a $200 billion a year industry and growing. Okay, so this is how you can make money in that industry. You're able to work in an industry that you're passionate about. Okay, so within the digital marketing agency industry, you're able to choose your own industry. Okay, you don't have to work in an industry or about a topic or a subject that you don't care about, that you actually hate. You can actually make this relevant to your interest, whether that be, whether you like sport or whether you like mechanics or whatever it is, you can make it work for you. Okay, I'm going to show you this business model that has unlimited earnings potential. So unlike a normal 9 to 5, where the average year-on-year raise or promotion growth is about 3 to 5%, with this business model, you can literally choose your own earnings, okay? If you just the kind of person that wants to make a couple $1,000s a month, $5,000, $10,000 per month, pay for your expenses, and live and enjoy your hobbies and spend time with your family, that's totally awesome, and you can do that. But if you're the kind of person who wants more, and who wants to grow this to $50, $100, $200,000 per month, it's absolutely possible, and that's what's nice about it. This is for you if you want to be your own boss. You decide your own schedule, so you decide when you work, when you wake up, when you go on holiday, when you take time off, etc. This is perfectly catered for that. And it's for you if you want more financial freedom. If you want the ability to travel or to, buy a new house or a new car, whatever it is, this will help you get towards that goal. Just to warn you, the kind of person it's not for, if you are looking for a get-rich-quick system, okay, this is not for you. This is not something that's going to put $100,000 in your bank account by tomorrow or, $10,000 by next week. It's not something push-buttony or anything. It does require work, okay? If you're a lazy and negative person, if you're not willing to put in the work and you think everything is a scam and nothing can work and it's all, what I'm telling you is nonsense, this is not going to be for you. And if you can't handle more time and money freedom, I put this one in there because some people just get really irresponsible when they have free time and a lot of money. And, if that's the kind of person you want to be, I don't want to encourage that. So, you need to be a responsible kind of person. And, if you're not willing to learn, if you're not willing to be open-minded, this is probably not going to be for you. But if you're still here, let's move on. So who am I and why should you listen to me? So Clayton gave a bit of an introduction about me already. I really appreciate that, by the way. So just a little bit about me, and I'll keep this real quick because it's not too important who I am or what I really do. What's important is the results I can get for you, okay? So I'm 30 years old. I have zero college or university or any sort of formal education, okay? That's an important one because, that makes a big difference. You don't need to be smart. You don't need to be anything special, any formal education. I like to travel a lot. Over the last 5 years, I've probably lived in 10, 15 different countries. I probably go to 10 to 20 different countries a year these days. So that's one of the things I like. My favorite animal is a French bulldog, just random little fact. And what's most important and what's most relevant is that I was able to build a 7-figure SEO agency within 18 months of getting started with this business model. And of course, I've built multiple other successful online businesses in the 6-figure a year industry. And just to show you what's possible and to back this up and the kind of freedom that this lifestyle can create and this business can create for you, here's just some photos. So like in the middle, it's me and my business partner. We just rented the supercars. They're not our cars, but we like to rent them in different cities. They cost about $1,500 an hour to rent, so they're definitely not cheap. And just some travel, Hong Kong, the Stonehenge in the UK, Thailand, Amsterdam, business class flights and stuff. And I'm not showing you this to brag at all. Like, honestly, I'd rather not show you this. I mean, my life is my life. I choose how to live it. But I'm just showing it kind of as an inspiration what's possible. So if you want to travel, if you want to have that kind of freedom, even if you just want to stay at home, but, have a nicer home, have your mortgage paid off, be able to send your kids to college, that kind of thing, that's also all possible. And that's the beauty of that, okay? And just, of course, to show you, it wasn't always like this for me, okay? So I didn't always have this life. I mean, literally about 5 years ago, I had nothing, okay? I had no job, I had no money, I had no relationship, I had absolutely nothing, okay? I was living off friends and family. I was literally living in my uncle's basement. And I'm not saying that as a kind of cliche thing. My uncle literally has a basement, and, I could stay there and work there and set up my little office. And, for about a year I was there and I was trying to make money online. I tried all sorts of stuff, blogging, affiliate marketing, and I just had very little success, okay? And after about a year, it was time for me to move out, and I still had no money and no job and everything. And that was really like my rock bottom low, okay? I had to ask my family for a couple $1,000s just to be able to get a place with rent and make it through the next few weeks. And I ended up getting a place that looked very similar to this. This isn't the exact place, but it was a super tiny studio. It was super noisy. It was super cold. The furniture was like the cheapest kind of furniture you can get. And that was the situation I was in a couple years ago, okay? And if you're wondering, so how do I turn it around? How do I go from that crappy situation to, where I am now? And Here's a little nice image showing how I powered up. Basically, what happened is I discovered digital marketing for clients. Okay, what it is, it's helping business and website owners increase their traffic and increase their conversions. And if you can help businesses make more money, get them more leads, get their phones ringing, have people emailing them, they're going to pay for you. Okay, they're going to pay you for that service. And this led me into a journey of learning about digital marketing. Okay, and at the time, one of my best friends was very good at internet marketing. Maybe you know him. He's Glenn from viperchill.com. But anyway, to cut a long story short, I got in touch with Glenn and I explained how profitable digital marketing can be. And he knew someone who was potentially interested in being our clients. So we both put up some money to be able to get results. And that was the start of our first digital marketing agency. And what happened next is, something like it really just took off from there. Once we had that first client, we focused our efforts on building out a proper agency, on acquiring clients, and within 3 months, we were doing well over 5 figures per month, of which the profit margins were really high, like 80% plus, okay? And I was able to pay back that loan that I had from my parents in full. I bought my parents a new iPhone, and thanks for loaning me the money. And after that, Glenn and me, we were able to grow our business literally month after month, turning it into a 7-figure-a-year business in under 2 years. And the reason why I'm sharing this with you is not to brag. Once again, I'm a private person. I like to think. I don't like to talk about this kind of stuff. I don't like to show off at all. I'm Dutch, so we're supposed to be kind of humble. It's always like ingrained into us from when we're very young. But I'm just trying to show you a motivation. So I'm not anything special. I don't have any formal education. Just a few years ago, I was broke. I had no clue what I was doing. And now, look how things have changed. So that's what I want to share with you. Everything we try to figure out was through trial and error. It took a lot of time, a lot of money to get to where we are now. And I want to share that with you. So hopefully it'll make your journey to getting started a lot easier and a lot quicker. So let's talk about why specifically a digital marketing agency. So I want to share a little statistic here to start off. And while this is a little bit older, it only goes up to 2014. In 2014, the digital ad spend only in America hits a $49.5 billion high. Okay, if you take that over the whole entire world, in current times, it's over $200 billion a year that is being spent by businesses on digital marketing services. And as you can see on this chart, you can see how from 1996, it's pretty much just been growing and it's starting to get that exponential curve. Okay, so every year there's just more and more and more demand for the service. Here's another example showing that only SEO, so ranking people higher in Google, or other search engines, but mainly Google actually, it's going to be an $80 billion a year industry by 2020. So in 3 years from now, companies are going to be spending $80 billion a year on SEO services. Okay, so it's just a huge industry. The money is there, and we want to go where the money is. So I want to introduce to you Jesse. Now, Jesse is one of our students who we taught this exact model to. He's from Australia. He's 23 years old. And he's able to run his own marketing agency and make 6 figures a year, okay, at 23 years old. And just to show you here, it's a little testimonial he gave. Within 24 hours of starting to apply this training, after we taught him, $5,000 per month client, he closed immediately, okay. BPC is another person we taught this to. He's from the USA. It's just a bit of a different demographic than Jesse, so I think he's mid-40s. He has a family, he has a few kids. He runs his own marketing agency, and he's making 6 figures a year while working from home. He's actually making 7 figures a year. I think he's just doing very, very well. And just again to show you, we taught him this, and within 90 days, he was able to make $43,000 from client billing. Okay, that's just how effective it is. And finally, one other person that we taught this to, his name is Vil, and why I'm showing you Vil is because Vil specifically, he is from Finland, okay? English is not his native language. He's in his mid to late 20s, and literally he speaks Finnish. He's from Finland, okay? And he's able to make this model work for me. He runs his own marketing agency, and just last month, in March, he made over 16,000 euros with his own agency. So that's about, I don't know what the exchange rate is. It's about $17,000 or $18,000 in a single month, with English not being his native language. So this can work for you from anywhere in the world. And just here's a screenshot he sent us. This was last month, so just over 16,000 euros, okay? So digital marketing, real quick, for those of you who don't know or who want a better definition from Wikipedia, it says it's an umbrella term for the targeted, measurable, and interactive marketing of products and services using digital technologies. Okay, so basically, in very simple English, digital marketing is any sort of marketing or advertising through digital mediums, especially through the internet. That's the easiest way to put it. And the main and most profitable services that we promote within digital marketing, so that's SEO, which is just stands for search engine optimization, ranking in Google. Social media, so any social media platform, there's a lot of potential money and potential customers and leads to be generated from these platforms, so it's a big part of digital marketing. Paid advertising, so any sort of paid advertising campaign, so for example on Facebook, on YouTube, on AdWords, where you can create your own content and pay money to get that content in front of targeted users. That is a service that businesses will pay big money for. Email marketing is another one. So basically, a lot of businesses collect their customers' databases, okay, and they just collect emails, they have some newsletters, but to go out in detail and set up people's email autoresponder sequences, set up content campaigns within their email marketing, follow-ups, that sort of thing, that's something that businesses pay big money for. And the last one that actually more and more recently there's a lot more money in this, it's content marketing. So businesses will pay you money if you can create content for their blog, for their outreach, for their guest posts, any sort of link bait or kind of articles or whatever, anything that can go viral, there's a lot of money to be made. So these are the 5 services where the most money is to be made within digital marketing. Now, another reason why digital marketing is so effective and why you should be in there is because traditional media is dying, okay? 15, 20 years ago, the only way to advertise, and this was before the internet, was on the traditional medium. So, print, newspapers, magazines, radio, people listen to radio a lot more. Television, classifieds, that sort of thing. That's where people advertise, the physical yellow pages, etc. But these days, all of that stuff is dying, okay? People are reading newspapers online, people are reading their favorite magazines online, people are listening to radio online. I mean, look at SoundCloud. People are watching television online, Netflix, Hulu, classifieds. It's all moving to the internet, okay? And the physical mediums are dying. So, of course, the money has no more effect. So the people spending money on advertising in these traditional mediums, they're not getting a return anymore, and they have to move their budget to online. And that's why it is such a profitable industry. And just to show you, also, traditional mediums are super expensive to advertise on, okay? So this is a screenshot of what it costs to advertise in the New York Times. And for a single placement, it can cost over $36,000. That's pretty nuts. And businesses pay this, okay? That's what they pay just to put their ad in the newspaper. And the problem with this is, besides the fact that it's very expensive, it's just such a shotgun approach, because you put an ad in the newspaper, it's going to be seen by a lot of people who are not your target audience, maybe young kids, maybe elderly people, maybe people who are not in your location where you provide the service. So a lot of that is just wasted. Whereas if you put it into digital marketing campaigns, so for example, SEO or paid traffic or whatever the case may be, you're going to get a much better return because you can target laser-focused segments and audiences that you can put your content in front, okay? And here's why you can make money with an online marketing agency. Okay, so business owners and professionals will gladly pay for digital marketing because they're increasingly becoming aware of how powerful and how important digital marketing is. And on top of that, they are realizing that if they're not online, they're losing out to their competition. Okay, if they're not advertising, then their competition is, and that means they're going to die a slow death unless they also get online and they compete. And like I said, digital marketing is just much cheaper compared to the traditional advertising. So that makes it much easier to sell. So instead of having to pay $36,000 for an ad in the New York Times, maybe they pay you $3,000 or $5,000 and get 10 times the return. Okay. Also, business owners have no time or desire to do their own marketing. Okay, they're busy running their business. They don't have time or interest to focus on ranking websites or split testing headlines. A plumber is on site, he's fixing leaking sinks and taps. I mean, a surgeon is in the operating theater, working with his patients. A landscaper is maybe on site, making sure everything's done correctly. So they don't have the time to do it themselves, and frankly, they're not interested, or they might have chosen marketing for a profession, right? So if you can do this for them, you become very important to their business, and they will pay you. Another very important reason why this is such a good business is because the absolute cost, so what they are going to pay you for your service fees, does not matter. Okay? As long as they're getting a return on what they're spending with you, they're going to stay your client and they're going to spend whatever it is. So whether that's $1,000, $10,000, $50,000, $100,000 per month, if they're getting enough business in return for that and they're breaking even or making more than they're spending with you, they're going to keep paying you, and and you keep making your profit margins. So you could scale it up as long as you're getting a return, and that's really, really nice. And finally, business owners, they don't care whether you're doing the work yourself, okay? So like I said in the beginning of the webinar, you don't need to know how to do your own SEO. You don't need to know how to rank websites. You don't need to build your own links, design websites, code. As long as you get results for your clients, you can simply outsource to people who are competent, or services that can get the results for you. As long as your clients get what they need, that's all you need to do. So now we're going to get into the good stuff, okay? And we're going to start with the first secret. And that secret is to focus on dominating one single industry, okay? It's possible to make money offering digital marketing services to anyone and everyone who takes your bait. But by doing this, you lower your value. There is literally nothing special about working with someone who anyone has access to, okay? If you want to be really successful with digital marketing, you have to specialize. And by this, I mean that you should become the go-to digital marketing agency for a specific industry. So you become the go-to digital marketing agency for dentists, or for lawyers, for plumbers, for landscapers, for plastic surgeons. It doesn't matter, as long as you specialize in a specific industry. Let me ask you a question real quick, and just answer here in the chat box if you want. Would a plastic surgeon, so imagine you're a plastic surgeon and you need digital marketing services, would you rather go to a marketing agency who only serves plastic surgeons, or any random digital marketing agency who just claims to have good results? Yeah, well, of course you would go for a specialist, right? It makes sense. People pay for exclusivity and they pay for the best. So what I want to show you right now is some real-world examples from advertising companies that are listed in the Inc. 500, the Inc. 5000, so America's fastest year-on-year growing companies, and show you how they're applying this business model and making millions, even tens of millions of dollars, okay? So the first one is called Showroom Logic. And Showroom Logic, they were founded in 2009. In their first year of revenue, they only did $157,000, okay? But just 4 years later, they did $28.9 million. That's really ridiculous, okay? And what they do is they focus only on digital marketing for the automotive industry, and particularly for car dealerships. So if you can see here from the screenshot, they offer various different services: paid search management, retargeting, display advertising. But they've also created solutions for specific problems unique to their industry. So, for example, they're able to display lease and loan payments in each vehicle ad. And they've also developed software and technology to be able to get results that no general marketing agency can replicate, which makes them the go-to solution for pretty much every car dealership that needs digital marketing services. And again, the results speak for themselves. They made almost $29 million in 2014. Another example of this is called Local Search for Dentists. And that's literally their name. As you can guess by their name, they focus on digital marketing for dentists, okay? They were founded in 2009, and while I don't have their 2010 official revenue numbers, in 2014, they did $3.4 million in revenue, only by focusing on dentists. So after I found this example, actually, after doing this research, I went and dug a bit more in the dentist industry. So it turns out there's 210,000 active dentists in the USA, okay? And the active dentist marketing budget is $20,000 per year. So if you're able to get 150 clients, 150 different dentists paying you $20,000 per year, that is $3 million in revenue per year. And 150 clients is not even 1% of all the active dentists only in America. So you don't even need 1% of all the dentists to be able to make $3 million a year. And that just shows you how powerful it is to specialize in a single industry. Here's another example. They're called ChiroPlanet. As you can guess by their name, again, they focus on digital marketing for chiropractic. So they were founded a bit earlier. They were founded in 1997. And while I don't have any exact figures, in 2014, I can pretty much accurately guesstimate that their revenue was in the millions of dollars. And the reason why I say this is, firstly, on their own website, they say ChiroPlanet has grown to manage over 4,000 chiropractic sites. So even if each one of those clients pays them $100 per month, which would be ridiculously cheap, that means their annual revenue is 4.8 million. Okay, and then if you go into Google and you type in quotation marks designed by chiroplanet.com, which they put in the footer of some of their client sites, it shows 23,000 results. So it's very possible they have thousands of clients and they're indeed making millions, if not tens of millions of dollars annually. And finally, the example that I want to show you, it's called Net Profit Explosion. They were also listed in the Inc. 5000. They were founded in 2006 with their first year revenue being $60,000. Okay, and $60,000 is really not a lot of money. It's like one person's salary. It might be one client paying them $5,000 per month. Okay, it's nothing impressive for an agency. But in 2014, just 8 years later, they're doing $7.3 million in revenue, and that's pretty big. Okay, so right now you may be wondering, that's great, Dirk, but I'm just a regular guy with or girl with a full-time job, no experience, and no budget. You know, how can you compete? Well, you just have to remember, okay, break it down. NPE, so Net Profit Explosion, their first year revenue was only $60,000. Okay, and I forgot to mention this, but NPE, they focus only on digital marketing for fitness center owners. So if you have a gym or fitness center, they will take care of your marketing, no other industry. Okay, so they only did $60,000 in their first year. Showroom Logic, that focuses on automotive industry, on showroom dealers, they were only doing $157,000 in their first year. But, you know, NPE turned out to do $7.3 million, and Showroom Logic did $28.9 million. Okay, so the secret here is to start with one client. Okay, start small, get your first client. Then you start growing, you get your second client. And as you get your second, then you get your next one. And as you get more clients, you take that money, you reinvest in the infrastructure, maybe you hire some people, you scale up, and you build that company over the months and years into millions and tens of millions of dollars, if that's what you want to do. If you want to keep it small, you know, like I said, and you want to make $10,000 or $20,000 per month, you absolutely can. So what I want to share with you now is a little formula how to be able to generate leads, because leads are the lifeblood of your agency. Okay, it doesn't matter how good at SEO you are or how good you are at any of the technical stuff. If you're not getting leads, you're not going to make money. Okay, and there's no specific trick. Okay, there's no special traffic source. You know, it's not like you have to be on some secret traffic source that's going to send you all your leads. Okay, if you apply this general formula, you're going to be able to apply it to any traffic source, and you're going to be able to make money. Okay, so the first thing is your traffic source. So it doesn't matter, that's Facebook, maybe it's LinkedIn, maybe it's Google AdWords, Yellow Pages, it doesn't matter. Each one of those traffic sources have millions of people on it, okay? And there's enough on each one of those traffic sources to make you a lot of money, okay? You can get leads from each of these sources, so it doesn't matter. So you find a traffic source, you choose one, you focus on one, and then you give value, okay? Value is super important. So there's a few options. So for example, you could create a free report. So you could create a PDF report about their industry. So for example, we were talking about the dentists. Maybe you want to go and dig into that dentist industry, and you want to create a free report showing dentists how they can improve their digital marketing. So you give them a few tips, maybe you tell them how to improve their social media, etc., etc. You put it in a report, and if you get that in front of dentists, they're going to be interested because you're giving them value, okay? Maybe you want to give away a free strategy. So you get in front of a dentist and you say, you know, maybe I'll offer you a consultation call, get on Skype, you know, I'll call you on the phone, and I'm going to walk you through what needs to happen for you to be able to make money. Pure value, no pitch, okay? Maybe you want to give them free leads. So if you know how to do paid traffic stuff, you know how to run Facebook ads or Google AdWords or whatever, maybe you want to send them a couple of leads. No business, no professional in this world is going to say no to free leads. So if you say to someone, you know, I'm going to send you 10 free leads or 5 free leads that can make them money, obviously they're going to say yes. You know, just any industry that you want to do that. Maybe you can generate leads from social media, whatever the case may be. Okay, that's a good way to get a foot in the door. And another way, which is probably one of my favorite ways, exactly what I'm doing right now is I'm hosting a webinar. You can create a webinar for a specific industry. So you can talk them through it, you can introduce yourself, you give a lot of training, you know, you can show them step by step what they need to do to improve their digital marketing for their business. And the important thing here is that you really give a lot of value. Don't be scared that they're going to take the information and apply it themselves, okay? Maybe some of them will, maybe 10% of those people will, but those people aren't going to be good clients anyway. They're not going to pay you anyway, okay? Most people, like I said, are too busy running their own business. Doctors are working with their patients, plumbers are working in the houses, etc. Okay, so if you show them enough value, you show them how they can be improved, how they can make more money, generate more leads through their digital marketing, then what you do is you offer them a way to contact you, okay? If they are able to contact you, so either you give them your phone number, you give them your email, or you offer them a done-for-you solution. So like I said, if you give them all this value within the webinar, at the end of the webinar, you offer them, okay, you can go and do all this stuff yourself, but if you want, I offer a service where I'll go and implement all of this stuff for you so you can continue working on your business. And this formula will work on pretty much any of those traffic sources. So for example, we apply it to Facebook. Here's an example of how it works on Facebook, okay? So you create an ad, and this is an ad we ran for criminal defense lawyers, okay? So you create an ad, you target specifically people who have studied criminal law, or who are part of the Criminal Defense Lawyer Association or something like that, and then you put them in front of value, okay? So you send them, when they click on that ad, they're gonna land on a landing page that allows them to opt in for a webinar. So for example, this landing page just shows them how to double or triple their email inquiries, and for free Google traffic. They sign up, they go to a webinar, and at the end, I offer them either a done-for-you thing, I offer them maybe a consultation where we get on a call, again, where I'll offer them some sort of service, maybe a trial, a little low-end tripwire thing where they can get started for, $100 or $500, and if they're happy, we can continue, etc. You can do the same thing with Google. If you want to run Google ads, create an ad for criminal defense lawyers. Send them your value, send them to your webinar, your free report, and again, offer them a done-for-you solution, where you do it for them, a trial, consultation, etc. Okay? So that is a way that you can pretty much get endless leads from any traffic source that you want. But now we get to the good stuff, where I want to show you secret number 2, which is personally what I think is the easiest lead strategy ever. Okay, so I've tried a lot of stuff. I've tried Facebook and Google and LinkedIn and a bunch of stuff. And personally, for me, what has worked the best is what I'm going to show you now, where you get a lot of highly qualified, high-value leads emailing you and reaching out to you. I'm going to show you why this is so powerful. Okay, and the important thing here is that you don't need any authority. Okay, you don't need to be some well-known, well-respected figure. You don't need to be likable. You don't need to have an existing audience. Okay, you can do this with an ugly website, and this is just really high-quality leads coming to you. And this is actually also the exact strategy that I use to be able to land and close my own clients, 5-figure a month clients, even 6-figure a year. So that's 100,000 plus. This specific client actually was offering to pay me $200,000 plus per year or something, and I landed it from this exact strategy. Okay, and just to show you the kind of emails that you get using this strategy. So this is from Gareth. He's saying, I'm presently canvassing companies like yours. Create a linking strategy for a small budget of 2,500 Singapore dollars per month. So that's about 2,000 US dollars. He's coming to me, he's reaching out, and he's saying, I have $2,000 per month. I need help. Here's another one from Gavin. He's saying, my budget for SEO services is $1,500 to $1,800 for 6 months. Even get huge companies like Alibaba. So this is from Alibaba-Inc. I actually don't know for certain that this is 100% legit, but I checked out the domain, Alibaba-Inc., and it seems to be associated with Alibaba, which is a huge, 30 billion plus the Chinese kind of Amazon. And basically what they're saying is, this is Feng from Alibaba SEO team. We're looking for a qualified agency to outsource our link building to. So that is huge, if that was legit. It didn't turn into a real deal, but basically I got this email. Anyway, move on. Melanie, she's saying, I'm looking for a marketing service for a new system which was created for real estate agents. Please call me. And she's giving me her number, and she's telling me to call her so we can discuss how I can help her create a marketing system for her business. Again, here's another one. I'm looking for a broad range of SEO services. Can we do a Skype call later today? Okay, and the important thing here is that, firstly, all of these leads are coming to me for free. I'm not paying for them. I'm not doing any work. Once this is set up, they come to me every single day. But most importantly is they're super, super qualified. Okay, so someone that reaches out to you is super easy to sell to compared to a cold approach. So I know there's a lot of people talking about, cold emailing, cold calling, even walking into businesses and trying to sell them services. But this is so hard to do, okay? Especially if you're looking at one of these big businesses, that's worth hundreds of millions or even billions of dollars. You can forget about cold calling a massive corporation and trying to sell them SEO, okay? It doesn't work. But when they come to you and they're saying they need it and they're asking you to call them, you're 90% of the way there, okay? They know exactly what they want, okay? They know digital marketing. So unlike with the cold approach, where you might even have to literally educate the business owner, the prospect, why he needs digital marketing, why he should be ranking highly on Google. Some people don't understand this, and if you have to explain it to them, it makes it much harder. But if they already know, it's awesome, okay? And on top of that, if they know that they need to spend money and they already have thousands of dollars available, it's pretty much a done deal compared to, where you have to explain to someone like, this is why you have to spend $2,000 per month. And then they say, it's so much money, $2,000 per month. These people are coming to you, they have the budget ready, they understand what they want. It's pretty much a done deal. So as an example, if someone right now, while you're watching this webinar, while you're listening to me, if they walk into your room and they try and sell you a car, they say, hey, I have this new Mercedes-Benz, it's 20% off if you buy it from me right now. How likely are you to buy? Okay, firstly, you're probably going to call the police because there's someone in your room trying to sell your Mercedes. Okay, but besides that, you're probably not going to buy it, okay, if I give you that offer. But let's just say that if you're looking to buy a car, let's say your car got stolen, the insurance is giving you a blank check, you need a car to get to work, you walk into a dealership and you say, I'm looking for a car. The guy says, here you go, it's 20% off if you buy right now. Are you going to buy that car? Most likely, yes. So maybe that's a bit of a bad example, but I'm just trying to bring across here. When someone reaches out to you, they're in need of a service or a solution. Okay? And all you need to do is you need to give them what they want. Just solve their problem, and they will pay you thousands of dollars per month. They know what they want. They have the money ready. They just want someone who will take it off their hands and give them what they're looking for. So if they need SEO, give them SEO. Sell them SEO. Even if you're outsourcing all the results to an expert, okay? You outsource it. You mark up on that outsourcing price, and you just make sure the results are delivered. And in the next few slides, we'll talk about how to get results for clients. But what I want to show you is this exact system, how to get these highly qualified prospects coming to you. And I'm going to show you how to replicate this pretty much in any industry you want. It's actually really simple, okay? So like I said, this concept is pretty straightforward. What you need to do is you need to build a website and rank it at the top of Google for terms like city plus SEO. So you build your website and you rank it for example, New York SEO or Amsterdam SEO, Toronto SEO. And you can create variations of this. So you can rank it for city plus SEO, city plus SEO agency, city plus SEO service, etc. And the more variations of this kind of city plus SEO that you rank for, the more leads that you're going to receive. And I'm going to show you in a second a case study of pretty much these leads, how they're coming to me for ranking for Singapore plus SEO, but it works in pretty much any medium to major size city. If you're ranking for those terms, you're going to get people emailing you and saying, I want your services. But now a bit of a twist on this is you can also rank for profession plus SEO. So instead of city plus SEO, rank for terms like auto dealer SEO, garden service, small business, architect, lawyer, plumber SEO. People in their industry search for a marketing agency within their industry. So a lawyer, when he's looking for marketing services, he's going to go into Google and he's going to type in digital marketing for lawyers, SEO for lawyers, agency, marketing agency for lawyers. So if you're ranking for that, you're going to get highly qualified leads within your industry. And then you build your website and you brand it around whatever industry you have, and you're making money. That's how it is. So again, profession plus SEO, profession plus SEO service, profession plus SEO agency. The more of these variations you rank for, the more leads you're going to get, the more money you're going to make. Okay? And ranking for these kind of keywords at the top of Google, it's pretty much going to guarantee that you're going to get leads. And they come to you every single day. They email you. They're highly qualified, and they're worth thousands of dollars. Literally $1,000, $5,000, $10,000 for a lead like that. It's super, super valuable, and you get them free. Once the work is done, once you're ranking, they just come to you. Okay. And like I promised, we built a case study around that. So you can screenshot this. You can check it out after the webinar or whatever. It's called SERPshake.com. And what I did, I built this as a case study agency following this exact principle that I'm teaching you right now, and it's built around Singapore SEO services and variations of those keywords. And Singapore, simply because I went there on holiday for the first time, and I discovered there's just a huge amount of money there. I think out of all the cities in the world, Singapore has the most millionaires and billionaires out of any city in the world. So there's a lot of money, and I thought, as an experiment, let's rank for this. And I got it ranking on page 1 in google.com.sg, so the local Singapore search engine version of Google. and it's ranking for dozens of SEO related terms. So here's just a screenshot, some examples. So local SEO Singapore, SEO Singapore, Singapore SEO, Singapore SEO agency, etc. And you can see the rankings there, and they're not that great. I mean, some of them, are first and fourth and fifth, but others are like seventh, eighth, even on page 2. And these kind of rankings have been sending us highly qualified leads, and ranging from small businesses. So like this one, for example, Zachary, I think he owned a small restaurant or something. I'm not too sure, but basically, a smallish business to corporations literally worth billions of dollars emailing us. And I know, again, this might not be a real email, even though I think it is, and it never turned into a deal, but Alibaba. But the client that I closed for 6 figures, that was a corporation literally worth $15 billion. They operate all around the world. It's a massive, massive agency. They reached out to me, and I was able to close them. And like I said, if I had to try to walk into their offices and try and sell them SEO or digital marketing, I 99.99% guarantee you that I wouldn't have been able to do that. But because they reached out to me, they were looking for someone, and we were able to close the deal. So let's break this into a 3-step process that you can copy. Okay, so the first one is you need to choose your industry. Now, here you can go and do your research, and if you're choosing a city or a profession, you choose which city to target or which profession you want to target. Just a little word of advice here: if you're choosing a profession or an industry, choose an industry where the average customer value to that industry is worth at least $1,000. So an example of something you don't want to work with is a hairdresser, where the average customer value is like 30 or 40 bucks for a haircut or something, because if you're going to charge them $2,000 per month for your services, they need to make dozens, if not hundreds of, I can't do the math, hundreds of customers to cut their hair just to be able to pay for your service. It doesn't work for them, and you're going to struggle to make money with it. But if you choose something, for example, like a lawyer or divorce lawyer, where one single lead might be worth $15,000, $20,000, $30,000 to the lawyer, they can easily pay you $5,000 a month for your service, because you only need to give them one single lead. So that's just something to keep in mind when you're choosing your industry. The second step is you go out and you build your website. Okay, so you choose a domain, like for example, I chose SERPshape. You choose a website theme. So if you know how to set up WordPress, you can choose a basic free theme. SERPshape is pretty ugly. You can check it out later. It's just a WordPress theme. If you don't know how to build a website yourself, you don't know how to build a WordPress site or anything of the sort, don't worry. You can pay someone to do it. You pay someone $200 or $300, they'll set up a site for you. Okay, it can literally be super ugly. It's not important. And you build out the site with some content, 5 to 10 pages of content, talking a bit about your services, what you offer. That's all you need, and that's the site aspect done. And then the third step is you just want to get those top Google rankings. Okay, so without going too much into depth in SEO, there's basically 2 parts to ranking a website. And the on-site SEO is basically your entire website structure. So your title tags, your images, making sure your content and your pages are all set up correctly. For some help with this, all I suggest you do is you go to Google and you type in something like free on-site SEO audit tool or free SEO audit tool. Okay, there's a bunch of free tools you can put in your website URL. It's going to analyze it, and it's going to give you a bunch of suggestions on how to optimize your on-site SEO to make it near perfect for Google. And that's more than enough. That's all that you need to know. It's super easy, free. Okay. For the off-site SEO, that basically means the other websites linking to you, and that's just backlinks from other sites and mentions on social media, on Facebook, Twitter, etc. Okay, and just to give you a little bit of our formula here, basically if you follow this is a rough general concept. What we do is we start with press releases. So press release is an official kind of natural statement. When you start a company, when you start a website, you put out a statement to the press. It goes out to a couple hundred websites, and you get a bunch of cool, powerful backlinks to your site, and that's what we call the diversification. Okay, so these are just a lot of different links from authority news sites. What we go and do is we get someone to go and create blog comments on sites within our industry. So if you're trying to rank for dentist stuff, you want to find medical blogs, and you want to leave some natural comments there. Again, provide value, don't spam people. Give a real, genuine, unique response on every comment that you make. We use a service called PBM Butler for social signals. Basically, and there's a bunch of different services, but basically they provide Google and Twitter links and Facebook mentions and stuff like that. Then what you want to do is you want to go and find high authority links. So whether that's private blog networks, guest posting, stuff like that, I know Clayton at the Hoth provides a lot of those quality services. We actually use a lot of their services. So high authority links, you can just buy them from different places, okay? And another thing that we found works really well is scholarship links. So basically, this is a method that's been around for a while. I didn't invent it, but it's still highly effective. What you do is on your website, you create a page offering a scholarship. So you're offering money to a student at a university that they can use towards their education. And basically what you do, the terms for this, is you basically say that anyone who wants to apply for the scholarship has to write an article on their university blog. So students often get their own blog or their own page within their university website. And a university website, so .edu, is very powerful because it's a formal institution, it's a formal education center, and it just has a lot of authority in the eyes of Google because it can't be spammed. It's an official institution, okay? So the students all have the ability to create content within that edu domain on their own page. So by them entering for the scholarship, you can literally get hundreds of students from all around the country or all around the world, you know, writing on their own university blogs and linking back to your own website, and that boosts it. So that's a cool little trick that you can also use to get high authority links, okay? And basically this system works. So for Surfshake, even though I know how to do SEO myself, I didn't do that. I just went, I got these different services, I paid companies to do it for me, and I got the rankings, okay? And that's how you can do it yourself, okay? So if you're wondering, once you get clients, which kind of services you can offer, which kind of digital marketing services, you can offer to build people a new website, okay? Maybe they already have a website, but you can sell them something that has benefits for them. So you can sell them a website that loads faster. Maybe it's mobile responsive, maybe it's easier to rank in Google, maybe it converts more visitors and customers, okay? It's about the bottom line for a business. So if you can sell them a website that's gonna make them more money, they would be willing to invest in that for you, okay? You can offer to rank them for more keywords in Google, or you can improve their current rankings, okay? This is gonna increase their traffic, it's gonna send them more leads, and it's gonna increase their sales. So just as an example, we had a client that was paying us $1,000 per month to rank him for a few keywords in the supplement industry. And we got them to the first position in Google for those keywords. And months later, after he'd already canceled with us, this was literally about 12 months later, maybe 18 months later, I don't know. But I heard from someone who knew them that they were making an excess of $100,000 per month from those rankings we got them, and they were only paying us $1,000 per month. So, you know, they could have easily paid us $5,000, $10,000 per month, and it would still have been an incredible deal. So by offering SEO, you're offering businesses, you know, a ton of value. You can really help them make a lot of money. You can help them improve their business, even save their business. You know, a lot of business owners are struggling and they need more sales, and you can help them do that. Okay, so SEO is one of those things. You can also run paid advertising campaigns. So, for example, if they want instant leads, what you can do is you can offer to run, you know, Google AdWords or Facebook ads for them. And as soon as you run that campaign, as soon as you put it live, you're going to be able to send them very targeted leads. And this is very attractive to business owners. And lastly, you can offer to manage your social media for them. So, like I said again, business owners are busy running their own business. So they don't have time to sit and post on social media. You can go and create their profile on all the major social media sites, and you can offer to manage it for them. You can offer, you know, to post content regularly on their social media on their behalf, to reply to comments, you know, to engage with their customers. It's very powerful. And if you're wondering how much you can charge for this kind of stuff, website design for small to medium businesses is between $3,000 and $20,000. Okay, medium-sized business, you could charge them up to $20,000 for a website design. SEO, I think it starts at a minimum of $1,000 per month, and it can literally work its way up to tens of thousands of dollars per month. $20,000, $30,000, $40,000, $50,000 per month is all possible. Paid advertising campaigns, they typically work by you charging a management fee plus the ad spend. So I would honestly suggest you start no lower than $500, maybe even $1,000 as your fee plus the ad spend. So the business is going to pay you your fee, plus they're going to agree on spending, for example, $2,000 or $5,000 per month on ads. And your fee is for managing that money and making sure it's optimized as best as possible and getting results. Social media management, again, like I explained, you can manage their social media on their behalf, post content, engage with users, etc. And for this management fee, I would suggest no less than $500 per month. Honestly, I wouldn't do it for less than $1,000 And that's really what businesses pay for. Okay, so now we get to the important thing that might make it very interesting for you is to outsource the technical work. Okay, because a lot of people that I talk to, that I explain this business model to, they think, I'm not technical. I suck with computers. I don't know how to build a website. I'm not a coder. I'm not a designer, etc. You don't need to know how to do this yourself. Okay, you can outsource all of it. Your clients just care about the bottom line. So your job as the agency owner is to generate leads, to outsource the technical work, and to oversee that the results are actually delivered. And as long as this process works, you don't need to do any coding. You don't need to build a website. You don't need to build a backlink. You don't need to rank a single site. Okay. And just to show you some examples of sites to outsource it to, Upwork, PosiRank, Freelancer, 99 Designs. There's tons of these different sites where you can completely outsource all of the digital marketing. So Upwork, for example, they're a freelance site where you can find all sorts of talents. So whether it's web developers, designers, writers, assistants, anyone you want, you can go to Upwork. You can create a job listing. So whatever you're looking for, you post that, and you will get, dozens, maybe even hundreds of applicants. And then you can sort through them, you can interview them. And freelancer.com, similar to Upwork, they're just a freelance website. You can post a job and you can get a bunch of freelance agents, people who can get results for you. They will reply to your job and you can choose one. 99designs.com, again, they do all sorts of design work. So you need a logo, a website, business cards, whatever it is. You can sell the service or the end result to your prospect, to the business. You can go here to 99 Designs, post a job request with your brief of what you're looking for. You get a bunch of designers who are going to submit their designs. You choose a winning one. You give it to your client's happy, you're happy, the designer is happy, everybody wins. And of course, the Hearth is also a great place to outsource to. So, they manage everything from citations to press releases, guest posts. They have a ton of work. So again, the Hearth is another example where you can outsource to. The most important things to keep in mind is just to take massive action, okay, and give huge value up front. And just to share with you here a quote from one of my favorite celebrities, Dwayne Johnson, The Rock. He says, success isn't overnight. It's when every day you get a little bit better than the day before. It all adds up, okay? You don't have to make thousands of dollars by tomorrow, by next week, by next month. Just every day you keep at it, you follow the principles, you apply the methods, every day you get a bit better, and you work towards getting your agency. So, real quick in the chat, tell me, are you enjoying this webinar so far? Give me a hell yeah. Give me a heck yes if you're enjoying this webinar. Awesome, guys. I appreciate it. Yeah, you're loving it. Okay, awesome, awesome. Do you feel like you can make money with what you just learned? These 3 secrets that I told you, okay? So to specialize in a specific industry, to build a website ranking for those keywords, and to outsource the work. If you go out and apply that, do you think you can make money? Absolutely. So how will you feel when you get handed your first $1,000 check? Okay, I just want you to imagine, those of you who have never got money from a client before, how would you feel when you get handed your first $1,000 check? Picture yourself having it in your hand, showing it off to your friends and family, taking it to the bank, depositing it into your account. And then imagine how you'd feel when you get checks like this coming in every month and every week, and possibly even for amounts like $2,000 or $5,000 or more. And that's all possible. So far in this webinar, what we've covered is the first secret, okay? And this is the secret of specializing. This is the exact formula that those Inc. 500, Inc. 5,000 companies use to make millions of dollars in revenue annually. And I've only showed you a couple of examples. If you want to go out after this webinar and you want to go and search in the Inc. 500, Inc. 5,000, you will find dozens and dozens of those examples of industries or agencies focusing on specific industries who are making crazy amounts of money. Okay, the second secret is that you don't need authority. Okay, you don't need to be likable, you don't need to have an audience, nothing. You just need a few-page website, you rank it in Google, and it's going to give you tons of ready-to-buy, high-qualified, targeted leads for free. And the third secret is you don't need to do the technical aspect of marketing yourself, even if you know how to do it. Like personally, I know how to do this technical marketing stuff, but I don't have time for it. I focus on building more leads, and making sure the process runs. I outsource everything, and I highly recommend that you do that also when you have your agency. Your time is better spent overseeing the process, creating systems, and generating more leads. So Who wants to take things to the next level? Put in the question and answer box right now, just type, I'm ready, if you want to take this to the next level. Yeah, I'm ready. Okay, I'm seeing a lot of I'm ready. Awesome, awesome. So I want to ask you a question. What happens tomorrow? You've probably been on these kind of webinars in the past, right? Like you get excited, you get fired up, a lot of cool information shared, your brain, is churning, running, you're super excited. But what happens the next day? Probably nothing for most of you. And it's sad because I showed you guys the exact system I'm using right now to start a real and sustainable online business, location independent, in an industry that you love. And the reason why you're going to go back tomorrow and not do anything is because of old habits, and they're hard to break, okay? You go back to your office or your job the next day, and you're in the exact same habits, the exact same environment. And the only way that you're going to be successful is if we figure out a way to break that habit right now, okay? And the way to break that habit is by investing in our digital home study course that I'm about to introduce to you on this webinar in a few moments. I can help you and give you all the tools you need to break that old habit so you can become successful. If you don't do that, you're going to slide back to your exact old habits, okay? You need to invest in tools right now to break that habit, because everything we did here for the last hour will be completely useless and you will go back to your old habits unless we break, okay? And I want to show you how to do all of this while you can work from the comfort of your own home. So if you have a family, you can spend more time with them, you can work on your own terms, you can be your own boss, you can do this part-time. And I know in the beginning I made that claim to make a $100,000 agency in 90 days or less, okay? And that can sound super overwhelming, especially, $100,000 to me sounds like a lot still. When I started out, it was a crazy amount of money to imagine. So you need to break it down, okay? So $100,000 per year agency only takes 5 clients at $2,000 per month, okay? That will make you $120,000 per year. And if you're thinking about 5 clients at $2,000 per month each for the next 3 months, you'll achieve your goal, okay? That's all that you need to do. So you only need to get 2 new clients a month for the next 3 months, or 1 client every 2 weeks. And that makes it a lot easier, a lot more understandable to digest, okay? And with what you've learned in this webinar here, you're already equipped with the strategy on how to get there. If you take action, you can go and apply this stuff, these 3 secrets. You can build your own 6-figure agency if you wanted to without any of my help. But I want to offer you my guidance, my support, and my experience to help you succeed even faster, okay? I realize you may be a bit overwhelmed, like you saw the big picture, but you don't have all the fine details on how to get from A to Z. And having been exactly in your shoes, or possibly even worse, I know the amount of trial and error and tears and sweat that goes into figuring this stuff out on your own, okay? And last year, my business partner and I made over $1 million selling marketing services to clients. And I want to offer you my guidance and my experience to help you achieve the same, to help you set up your own agency. So I want to introduce to you Marketing Inc. For the last 2 years, hundreds of people just like you have learned from us how to take advantage of this enormously profitable and ever-growing industry of digital marketing services, okay? I hate to show these screenshots, to be honest, but I know it's important. I know it adds some value and adds inspiration, okay? So unlike other products in the make money online space where people are teaching you how to make money, we've actually gone out into the trenches. We've built our own agencies. We've done this for multiple years, made multiple 7 figures. We walk the walk before we talk the talk, okay? And that's important. We really know what we're talking about. So Marketing Inc. is a full-fledged package of everything you need to build a successful business model quicker than any other model that we know. Now, I want to show you a little bit of what's inside Marketing Inc. when you join today. Okay, the first aspect is the training. So you can log into Marketing Inc. anytime, day or night, mobile, tablet, or desktop. Okay, we've created tons of different modules, each broken down into bite-sized kind of information so you can process it and work through it. At the end of each module, we've got a strategy checklist where we show you your progress that you've made, what's still to come, and you can kind of check it off as you go along and not get confused in your journey. We've also got a very nice navigation section, like I said, where we break down each of these modules into bite-sized pieces of content that you can work your way through it easily. Okay, so I'm going to show you a few of the modules and show you what's inside. So the first module is strategy potential. So here we're going to show you a case study of one niche agency going from $60,000 to $2.4 million in 24 months. I'm going to show you how to raise your rates, so how to charge money like experts do without being one already. I'm going to show you which industry to dominate with your niche agency, and we're going to give you, to get started, we're going to give you more than 100 handpicked niche ideas that you can choose your industry in, okay? We're going to give you a case study of one of our own businesses ranking for highly profitable terms that you can just copy. One of our students, Daryl, we're going to give you his case study of making thousands of dollars per month from local SEO. And of course, there's more to it than that. I'm going to show you inside this module, ranking and selling SEO, everything that you need to know about SEO and ranking in Google. We're going to give you an in-depth guide to building private link networks. We're going to give you beginner to advanced insights for local SEO, and we're going to show you how to price your SEO. So when you attract clients, when you're talking to prospects, we're going to show you how to price your services so that you can get the best deals, okay? We're going to give you personal case studies of ranking with local SEO. We're going to give you a checklist of what we call our ultimate SEO strategy. And we're going to show you if you don't want to do any of this stuff. So we teach you how to do all the SEO if you want to learn the ins and outs of it, but we're also going to show you where and how to outsource this if you don't want to do it yourself. And like I mentioned, I suggest you actually outsource it and you don't do it yourself after you know how to do it, because your time is better spent on generating leads, growing your agency, and overseeing the process. So in the next module, finding and closing clients, we're going to give you exact strategies where to find leads on sources like Facebook, LinkedIn, Google, and more. So I gave you a bit of a taste in this presentation how to do it. Within Marketing Inc., we go into exact and specific strategies and case studies of how to use these traffic sources to generate leads. We're going to show you one page which will give you instant credibility. When you position that to a prospect, they're going to see you as the authority in your industry. We're going to show you a $21,000 launch case study with exact ad examples. And we're going to share with you a social network that only one person we know is using to drive hundreds of leads to his agency. And I'm going to show you a little secret of how to get people like me happily sending your clients your way. So not that I think I'm anything special, but we often get a lot of inquiries, a lot of leads that we don't know what to do with or that we don't want to take on. And just as an example, one of our students of Marketing Inc., he was active in the forums, and I personally, actually Glenn, I think, got a lead that he wasn't able to follow up on, that he didn't want to take on, and he referred this lead to one of our students, and this lead ended up making our student $18,000. So that's pretty nice. So you get people who are in a position of power, who get a lot of influence, who get a lot of leads. They don't always take on those leads, and if you can connect with those people, we'll show you how you might get thousands, tens of thousands of dollars worth of free business. I'm going to show you actual people to outsource all of the work to. So we're not just going to show you, here's the website, go and outsource it there, but actual people that we use to outsource our work to, and the job offer examples that we use. I'm going to show you 60 minutes of video of entering a brand new industry that you can copy. I'm going to show you a step-by-step blueprint to building your successful agency, a massive action checklist to ensure your success, and more. Then we get to the case study module, and this is my favorite module actually of the entire course. I enjoyed putting this together. I learned the most from this. What we've done is we have gone and interviewed 6- and 7-figure agency owners, so people who own digital marketing agencies. We've gone and interviewed them, and we've asked them to share their strategies with us, how they run it, how they get leads, how they grow it, some of their processes, and this is super, super valuable, because you don't only get to know our personal ways and strategies that we run our agencies with, but other people who are in the trenches, who are making the money, you get to learn from them too. So the first one is an interview with reality TV star millionairess Robin Kasner, who created a multi-million-dollar PR company. BPC, one of our students, you saw him in the beginning of the presentation, how he was able to make $43,000 in 90 days. He shares that with us in the case study section. Josh was able to get a $100,000 car for its services to a luxury car rental agency. So even if you don't get paid, directly, like huge amounts, you can make deals and you can barter for stuff. So if you're working with companies, maybe you're working with a cleaning company, maybe you can get like free cleaning for a year. Or, if you're working with a jet charter agency and you generate a lot of business for them, maybe they'll give you a free flight every now and then. Stuff like that. So we show you how to do that. Azam, one of our students, shared a 20-minute video how he's making $14,000 per month. Matt, another one of our students, shows you how he makes $10,000 per month. There's really lots of these. I'm not going to list all of them. Ton of value in this case study section. Then we've got a module called Mindset, okay? And This is an important module because I believe online business is not just about knowing a trick. It's not about having a loophole or some secret, where you can make a lot of money and then once the loophole disappears, it's gone. So we're going to show you how to work smart instead of working hard. We're going to show you how to put goal setting systems into place to achieve success faster. I'm going to show you a success routine that just at 25 minutes per day will help you increase the success in your business dramatically. We're going to show you how to automate and streamline your business model, which is very important because for me personally, I'm all about freedom and being able to travel location independent and stuff. And that stuff doesn't work if you have to work in your business all the time. Okay, if you have to be present 24/7, your business isn't a business, it's a job. Okay, and we teach you how to automate it so that you can choose your own schedule and have your own time. We're also going to show you how to reprogram your mind. It's very important. It's a little trick, something that I've struggled with a lot. Where I had kind of limiting beliefs and stuff. So we're going to show you how to reprogram your mind so that success becomes inevitable. Then in the advanced training module, here we go above and beyond. We're going to share with you a case study by Daryl on how to get powerful backlinks using a kind of unconventional method, super, super effective. We're going to give you a huge case study of one of our own marketing agencies in Singapore. I shared that with you today. That was Surfshake. And what we've done is we've documented the entire process from start to finish, how to set it up, the research, the rankings, etc. So basically the whole process of how that's doing and how that's making us a lot of money, you can go and learn exactly that and copy it in any city, any industry. You can even copy it for Singapore. I really don't mind. I mean, if you want to compete, it's no problem. There's enough business for everyone. We show you how to do this. Okay, I'm going to share with you a 90-day strategy for how you can change your life with this model, and I'm going to show you how to quadruple sales using a technique we've used on you today, which is webinars. This webinar you're on right now, webinars are super, super powerful. I mentioned they were one of my favorite value tools. You can use this to generate a lot of business for your agency. Okay, so the total training value of Marketing Inc., of these modules, when you count in strategy, potential, SEO and rankings, finding and closing clients, case studies, and mindset, each of those modules are so big and so valuable and so much detail that we could create a product out of them themselves, sell them for $500 each. If you add that up, it comes to $2,495. Okay, and what I want to talk about for the last 90 minutes is we've shared a ton of information. Okay, but information alone is not going to save you. Everything that you have, all this information, is not going to help you. You need Marketing Inc. You need this exclusive training because it's going to help you go to the next level. It's going to help you build a profitable online marketing agency. The second step of Marketing Inc. when you join is the support, and this alone is worth the value of the course. Okay, when you join Marketing Inc., you get access to VIP members only forums. Okay, and these forums, they're super active. You can see here we've got thousands and thousands of posts, almost 17,000 posts. We've got 2,000 threads. We've got a lot of members in here, and we're all sharing information. Okay, extra training that's not in the course, tips, suggestions. Members are all interacting with each other. You can create friendships, partnerships. Glenn and myself, we're in the forums all the time. So you can see here, I've posted over 2,000 times. Glenn's posted over 600 times. Actually, that's closer to 3,000 and 2,000 these days. But basically, we're there all the time. We want to answer all your questions, So you have access to these forums. You can post any question. Whenever you're stuck with something, ask a question. Ask 10 questions. Ask 100 questions. It doesn't matter. We're here to help, and we're here to answer, okay? And it's not just myself and Glenn that are in the forums and nobody else. I mean, our students are in there also. All the other members are in there. BPC, who made $43,000, he shares a bunch of cool stuff. He shares how he's getting his clients. He gives information. He helps out other members, okay? You get access to all these other members. There's literally over 1,400 members in Marketing Inc. So that's a lot of people all working on their same agency. And just some examples here, Java Wonga, 685 posts, Daryl, 680 posts, Samba. So everyone's active, everyone's helping each other out. It's just an awesome community, okay? And in the past, we sold access to this forum as a separate thing for $47 per month. So when you get access to this forum, there's no monthly fee, there's no yearly fee. But if you were to pay for it, it would have been $564 per year, okay? Look, you can have money or you can have excuses. And that's it, okay? Right now, you've got two options. Option one is you can sign up for Marketing Inc. You can start a real and sustainable and location-independent business in an industry you love. Or option number two is you can come up with some excuse why you can't afford it, why you couldn't do it this time, why you don't have enough time, whatever your excuse is today, and that's fine. But the reality is you can't have both. You can have money or you can have excuses, and you've got to decide right now which one you want. I don't know about you, but personally, I'd rather have money, and that's why I need you to go and invest in Marketing Inc. right now. The third part of Marketing Inc. when you join is done for you. We know how difficult it is when you join Marketing Inc. You know, how to figure the stuff out on your own. We've done the trial and error, all that stuff. So we've created a bunch of cool stuff for you that helps make it easier. Okay, so the first one is email templates. So you don't have to worry about what to write. We've got a bunch of different email templates, copy and paste. You can use them, you know, for warm and cold leads. They're proven to convert, so you don't have to think about it. You've got a copy the template and you use it. Okay, agency contract template. So when you land a client and you get to the point of making a deal and you need to worry about, hey, I don't have a contract, we've got the template for you. Okay, so it's ready to be used. It's easy to edit. You take the contract, you modify it to whatever agreement you have with your client, and you're good to go. Then we're giving you what we call the professional done for you toolkit. And in our years of running agencies, we have tried pretty much all the tools and services under the sun, and we want to give you the best ones, the most effective ones that get you results, that increase productivity, and that increase efficiency. So we're going to give you our done for you toolkit. We're also going to give you direct access to the outsources we personally use. So again, throughout our years of running agencies, we've tried a bunch of different services and different outsourcers, freelancers, etc. We're going to give you access to the ones that get us the best results. And as a side effect, you're going to get better pricing than you would if you were to approach them on their own. We don't get money for it, but because we have a good relationship with them, we've given them a lot of business, they're happy to give our customers that we refer to them a better price. Okay, and it's just going to help you simplify your agency. So the total done for you value for email templates, contract templates, toolbox, and outsources comes to $696. So just to recap, and sum it all up, the total value of Marketing Inc. with the training modules, the support forums, and the done for you comes to a total value of $3,755. Okay, but you are not going to pay $3,755. We have built, without question, the most profitable and successful community for people building their own stable online business. Okay, most people spend their lives chained to a desk, living for the weekend, you know, waiting for Friday, dreading Monday, working on someone else's dreams, all with no hope of ever being financially free and getting to work on their own dreams. And that is a terrible way to live. In fact, it's no way to live. But there is another option, and you could be living it. If you want to learn business by getting an MBA, so a Master of Business Associates, to put this into perspective, okay? If you want to go to university, you want to get an MBA degree, you're going to spend $100,000 to $200,000 and lose 2 years of your life. And that is on top of getting a bachelor's degree, which is required to get an MBA, which is another 3 years of your life. So you're going to spend like 5 to 6 years of your life and potentially $200,000. Okay, if you want to start a franchise, so you want to start a real brick and mortar business, you want to start a Subway, a 7-Eleven, a McDonald's, you're looking at a minimum of $500,000 in investment costs, sometimes $1 million, $1.5 million for a McDonald's to get started. Okay, that's crazy. Marketing Inc. does not require $500,000 like a franchise or offline brick and mortar business, or like an MBA, $100,000 to $200,000. It's not even going to cost you $50,000 or $20,000 or $5,000. It's not even going to cost you the value of it of $3,755. Okay, you can go through the same proven process that we have personally used to build 6- and 7-figure businesses and helped hundreds of people quit their 9-to-5 jobs for a once-off payment of $997. Okay, and I had 2 choices when I was putting together this package. The first choice was that I could make it really cheap. I could charge like $97 and everyone could afford it. And we could sell tons and tons of it. Okay, everyone would have access to it, and that was just one option. But the problem with that option is that personally I can't put in the time or the effort or the resources to really serve you. So instead of selling 10,000 people a $97 product, what we decided to do is to help you. I want to give you more personal attention, so I decided to charge more. And I decided to charge $997. That way, it justifies me spending more time and more effort. And I'm guessing for most of you watching that you'd probably rather have a little more effort from me, right? If you have a problem, if you have a choice, you want me to get on Skype for you, I'll do that. You know, I'll help you out with your problems, no matter you ask 50 or 100 or 200 questions, doesn't matter, okay? And that's why I decided to charge more for what I'm selling. So the choice right now is basically, you've got two choices, okay? Choice number one is you can go and invest, you can get started, and in the next 90 days or less from now, you can have the entire system set up, running, and making you money. Or choice number two is you can choose to end this webinar, you can go to bed, and tomorrow wake up and do the exact same thing that you're doing right now. You've just got to decide which choice is more exciting. Which one do you want in your life? Do you really want to go back to exactly what was happening yesterday? I'm guessing not, otherwise why watch this part of the webinar, right? You're trying to start a real and sustainable online and location-independent business in an industry you love. Okay, you showed up at this webinar, you need help. So you've got two choices. Either it's get help, let's fix this problem for you, or let's go back, you know, go back, keep doing what you're doing already. And I don't know about you, but that second option doesn't make me happy. Okay, and that's why I want to help you right now. So for the price of a daily coffee at Starbucks, you can learn how to build a 6 or even a 7-figure business. Okay. Now, typically two kinds of people show up on these webinars, okay? And the first one is, you know, the kind of timid, nervous guy or girl. They get on there, they think it's really cool, it makes a lot of sense, it's a lot of value, they get excited, they want to do it, but they just don't take action, okay? That's the guy on the left. I don't know about you, but I don't like working with people like that. Those people are never successful. The people I like are the people like us, okay? You and me. We get on this webinar, we hear it, we understand it, step up, they want to produce, and boom, okay? They go out there, they get results and make things happen. So I'm going to ask you guys, what are you? Are you this guy on the left, you know, who's all confused and never going to take action? Or are you this guy on the right who's going to go and dive in, sit in front of his computer, take action, okay? The guy on the left is probably going to get tired and hang up on the webinar right now. I don't want to make you feel any guiltier than you already do, okay? But if you're ready to take massive action in your life and do cool stuff and change your life for the better, if you want to join us, this is what we're going to do. Come and sign up right now at http://marketinginc.com/the-hot. Okay? Say goodbye. And not to me, but this is the deal. Okay? All you guys, you've been here, you've been trying to start a real and online business in an industry you love, probably for some time. And I want you to say it with me. Okay? Say goodbye. Say goodbye to being technical and knowing how to perform the SEO or digital marketing. Okay, I'm going to show you inside Marketing Inc. I've given you a taste on this webinar already, but inside Marketing Inc. we go into great detail with this. You can literally just outsource everything. You don't need to do it yourself. So, you know, that's not an excuse. You don't need to know how to do SEO. Okay. You can also say goodbye to having to rely on a single point of failure. A lot of online businesses, you know, make money online methods. They rely on a single factor. Like, for example, if you're ranking Google, you're relying on affiliate SEO. If Google changes their algorithm, your rankings tank, it's gone, okay? If you're relying on Facebook ads and your ad account gets banned, it's gone. But when you have an agency, when you have clients, even though the medium changes, even though Google changes or Facebook or whatever, your clients are still paying you to figure it out and get results for them. So it's a very, very sustainable and fluctuation-proof business. Okay? And when you buy Marketing Inc. right now, you can say goodbye to all those obstacles that are bugging you forever. And if you act right now on this webinar, okay, what I want to do to sweeten the deal is I'm going to give you a bunch of awesome, awesome bonuses. Okay, and you can tell me later if you think they're awesome, but they are awesome. Okay, so in this section, I just want to share with you the bonuses you get if you take action right now. You join Marketing Inc. right now. So the first one that you get is you get an agency website theme. Okay, so like I said in the beginning with Surfshake, where you have to build your own theme, you don't know how to do it. We're going to give you that theme, a professional-looking agency theme. It's modular. It's very easy to customize, different colors, very professional. Okay, and value of that is $1,080. I'm not making that up. Just to prove that to you, here's a screenshot of the receipt. With PayPal, we had to pay $1,080 to be able to give this theme away to you. Okay, so that's the value of it. What we've gone and done and what you get access to, and this is really, really cool, we've created a mass page creator plugin. So basically in Google, websites like Amazon, like Wikipedia, like Yellow Pages, all sorts of directories, they have thousands of pages and they rank really well on Google, sometimes even without any backlinks, purely because of the authority and the amount of pages that they have. And the kind of simplistic reasoning behind this is that if you were to build a website by hand and you were to build 10,000 pages by hand, it would take you months or years, or many people working on it, many contributors. So that's why it has assumed authority. But what this plugin goes and does is mimics that, but it automates the process. So literally with a few clicks of the mouse, you can go and build websites with thousands of pages or tens of thousands of pages, where you get first page rankings, sometimes even first result rankings for tons of different keywords without building a single backlink, without doing any SEO. Okay, and we give you that plugin for free. We paid over $2,500 to get this developed. If you would have to do this with a new developer, probably $5,000 plus. We're giving this to you to use how you want. Okay. Another bonus that you get when you join right now is what we call the advanced YouTube strategy. It's basically a strategy to use YouTube to get videos on the first page of Google, sometimes even in the first position within 24 hours or less. Okay. And why this is so powerful is because you can use it for a number of purposes. Okay. You can use it to get your foot in the door. So if you're talking to a prospect and you want to get their attention, you speak to them and you say, okay, I'm going to get you on the first page of Google for this specific keyword by tomorrow. And then you can go and rank that video. They'll be on the first page of Google. You can call them up and say, here you go. I did as I promised. And do you want to discuss working on further terms? Another thing you can do is you can use it as proof. So when clients ask you for references, what can you do? Show us something, how you rank something. You can go and show them a bunch of YouTube videos ranking for different keywords very easily. It doesn't cost you any money to get those rankings. You don't have to do any SEO. It just works. And just a screenshot here. It's a bunch of different terms. Of course, they're not super competitive. It's not like payday loans or anything, but it works for businesses. Okay, it works for a business name, a business industry, plus their area code. Just to show you here, this is an example of a video that we rank. You can go and search for it if you want. Basically, it's been ranking #1 for all these terms for close to a year. You can see at the top there, since April, it's stayed #1, affordable rhinoplasty reno, affordable rhinoplasty surgeon, etc., etc. And of course, these might not be the most competitive keywords, but if you understand that a lead for a rhinoplasty surgery is worth $5,000 to $10,000, you need one person to click on that, and this is 100% free. You can make hundreds of these videos for all different terms. And this is just really awesome. So if you want to go check it out, just go to Google, type in affordable rhinoplasty reno, and we should be on the first results there. And you can see the video is terrible, by the way, but it's still ranking out of 437,000 results. So that's really awesome. That's what we're going to show you what to do also. Now, to make things even sweeter, and this is something that Clayton and the Hoth threw in, if you join Marketing Inc. right now on this webinar, okay, we're going to give you $100 worth of Hoth credits to be able to use for any Hoth product. So that includes link building, local citation building, blog content, and all you need to do to receive this bonus is once you join Marketing Inc., send a copy of the receipt to support at the Hoth with your Hoth email address, and you will get $100 credit to your account. Okay, that's the same as $100 that you would have to pay from your credit card, your PayPal, or whatever. You're going to get that to be able to use for your agency, for your clients, whatever you want to use it for. So the total value of the website theme, the custom plugin, plus the YouTube strategy, plus the Hoth credits, I actually didn't add that on there, the Hoth credits comes to $4,127 when you join today. So if you act right now, what you're going to get with the training modules, the VIP support, done for you, section, and the bonuses, including the Hoth credit, comes to $7,882. Okay, and as you know, you're not going to pay that amount of money, so you're going to get a huge amount of value for, literally $997. And the truth is, I just want to share this with you. This was me probably about 8 years ago, 9 years ago. I'm nothing special. Okay, I'm not the best at SEO. I'm not the best at digital marketing. I don't have a college or university degree. In high school, literally, I got some of the worst feedback about my English ability, okay? The teachers told me I'd never be able to get anywhere in a profession that involved writing or speaking, like basically my hopes were pretty low. And I literally spent years trying to figure this stuff out through trial and error. And basically what I've got here, what I'm offering you, it works, okay? And it works very easy. And you can either go and do it the hard way and try to figure it out yourself, or you can just do what I'm giving you here, plug it in. It works, it's awesome. And again, I'm nothing special, I'm just a normal guy, okay? If I can do it, I promise you, you can do it. And Marketing Inc. is what will make it a reality for you. And I just want to share some testimonials from our members, the results that they were able to get after joining Marketing Inc. Just so you can see how well this really works. And Alan, he's saying, things are going great thanks to your help with Marketing Inc. I set up my own digital marketing business. It's pulled in $75,000 this year, which is extra income we never would have had. Right now, I'm enjoying a 7-week break in Florida. Go, Alan. Woo. David. David says, I just booked my first big client, paying me enough each month to cover about 2/3 of my living expenses. I honestly don't think I would have been able to do without what I've learned in Marketing Inc. Okay. Clyde, I've closed my first client for a monthly fee of over $1,000 and a setup fee of around $3,000. BRH, I've landed my first proper SEO client, £3,000 setup and £1,200 monthly. BPC, again, $43,000 in 90 days. And this actually, we ran a 90-day challenge within our forums, just a friendly competition. And whoever could make the most money would win a small prize. I think we actually gave away $1,000 to the winner. So he made $43,000 in 90 days, and he ended up winning that competition. David, he says the job is $1,500 setup plus £1,200 monthly for 6 months. So 1,200 times 6 is 7,200, if that's correct. So basically, this is like almost $9,000 from a single client. Okay. Frank, he was able to close his first client before his 26th birthday, $750. Ilya, closed 2 deals in the last 2 weeks. Local client, $2,000 setup plus $1,500 per month, and deal 2, $500 per month AdWords and retargeting. Okay, so I can keep going with these. We have so many of them, literally dozens and dozens of them. We're just getting crazy success stories by our members. Okay, and the important thing here to see is that just a single client will pay for the course many times over. You can see some of these testimonials where they're making $4, $5, $6, $10,000 from a single client. You know, that pays for the course 10 times over. They get the money, and that's how effective it is. And to make it even sweeter, even more of a no-brainer, you can access Marketing Inc. with 0 risk. Okay, we're going to offer a 30-day money-back guarantee, no questions asked. So if you join, it's not for you, or whatever the reason, you know, send us an email, and we'll refund you all your money. So we're taking all the risk. All of that is on you. You've got 0 risk. So right now, for a very limited period of time, you have a small window of opportunity to get your hands on Marketing Inc. It's all the training you need in one place. Okay, it's designed to be a one-stop resource that will help you build your profitable online digital marketing agency, giving you the freedom to work from anywhere you want, anytime you want. But more importantly, Glenn and I take you by the hand and personally guide you step by step. It doesn't matter whether you have experience with computers or whether you're completely new. Okay, you can work at your own speed. If you know what you're doing, you want to move faster, you can do so. If you want to take it slow and step by step, you can do so. Okay, and if you're wondering, maybe right now you have no idea how to get past the technical stuff or knowing how to do SEO or how any of these things work, once you invest in Marketing Inc., all those problems are gone. Okay, they evaporate, and you can concentrate on starting your own real sustainable location-independent agency in an industry that you love. And that's the power of Marketing Inc. So right now, for action takers only, you're going to get access to the training modules, the VIP support, the done for you, the bonuses, a value of $7,782 for just $997. Okay, think about this for a second. All of us have disposable income. So every month when people get their paycheck, you know, a percentage of that goes towards things like movies, candies, magazines, maybe Starbucks or, you know, Domino's Pizza, whatever, going out for dinner. I'm not asking you to go into debt for this. What I'm asking you to do is to take some of that disposable income that you're going to spend on movies and going out to dinner and stuff like that, and instead of blowing it on something temporary that's you're going to lose without getting a return, invest it in yourself. Okay, I'm asking you to make an investment in yourself because the money that you put into this is ultimately going to turn into more money for you. So would you temporarily be willing to give up partying, drinking, you know, fast food, movies, stuff like that, to potentially have this, okay, to potentially be able to have a luxury car, to have the freedom to spend as much time with your friends and family as you want, to be able to travel across the globe to exotic destinations, maybe to have the freedom not to worry about bills or rent or mortgage payments, how to send your kids to college, or, you know, even whether it costs you $50 or $500 when you go out for an evening, it doesn't matter. Okay, I'm not saying you're going to be able to buy a new Ferrari in the next 2 months. Okay, not at all. I'm not making any of these kind of crazy promises and guarantees. But Marketing Inc. could very well be the program that will change your life and enable you to get the financial and the time freedom that you want in your life. And again, not to show off, but just to show you what's possible. You know, we're only a couple months into 2017, and this year already, I've been to London, I've been to Amsterdam, I've been to Las Vegas. Currently, I'm in Thailand as I'm saying this. Next month, I'll be in America again. It's business class flights, hotels. It's all the comfort that you want. If you want this, you can get it. You know, if you want if you want to have your house or you want to do things in your way, spend time with your family, your hobbies, you can also do that. It's meant to inspire you and show you, you know, the kind of freedom that comes with running a kind of successful business like this. And again, not to show off, but to show you what's possible. One of our students, Alex, he said he hit me up on Skype. He was actually pretty quiet in the forums, and one day he sent me a Skype, and he's like, "Hey, I'm closing a client for $32K a month, and 4 more that will put us at $50K a month. I really appreciate your course. You guys are a gem." So that's amazing. $50,000 per month he's making after joining our program. And Sinan also, Sinan is amazing because she sent us this testimonial, and you know, she's a female student, which makes it even more interesting. Not that I'm trying to be sexist or anything, but typically the marketing and the kind of technical stuff is more male-oriented. But we have a number of female students, and Sinan has given us an amazing testimonial where she said, because of this, a few months ago, I've been working on an incredible partnership that is starting in the month of January. And this means I would be making 6 figures a month. So that's pretty nice. That's a minimum of $100,000 per month, which is just amazing. So congratulations, Sinan, for that. So again, what I want to say is just landing one client is going to pay for the course many times over. Okay, we've got dozens and dozens of examples of students who joined Marketing Inc. who were able to close their first client within days and pay for the cost of the course and then some. So right now, to join Marketing Inc., go to marketinginc.com/thehot. And keep in mind that when you join right now on this webinar, we're going to give you $100 worth of hot credit for you to use for any of their services towards building your agency or getting results for your clients or even your affiliate websites. Okay? So right now, what I want to do is firstly, I want to thank you for making it this far, for sticking with us. We've still got a lot of you here on the call. And I want to take some personal time out to answer any of your questions, maybe that you've put in the chat throughout this presentation or that you want to put in this chat now. I think Clayton is still with us. Clayton, are you still here?
Yeah, I'm still here.
Awesome, awesome. Okay, so I'm just gonna take a sip of my coffee.
Cool, guys. So if you have any questions, we still have a ton of people on here. If you guys have any questions, you can go ahead and throw them in the chat, and we'll start answering them as soon as we start getting some more coming in. Let's see. All right, questions are starting to roll in. Diggy, someone's asking about the PDFs.
Yeah, so I promised that if you'd stick around, I would give you access to a PDF. So right now, as promised, here's the URL for that PDF. So if you go to marketinginc.com/hot.pdf, type that in your browser, and it should load, and you can save that and go through it later on the webinar as you want or as you wish.
Cool. Let's see what else we got in here. Someone is saying, should we focus on only one profession in SEO or multiple professions in SEO?
So personally, what we like to do is we like to build up multiple of these agencies. You can build up many of them in different industries. You can also focus on a single one. It's really up to you. I mean, you can see from the examples, if you focus with one agency, one industry, like in the Inc. 500, Inc. 5000, you can build it up to a multi-million, even tens of millions of dollars in annual revenue if you want to. So even just one industry is good enough. If you want to have multiple mini agencies, that you have teams manage, so you want to create an agency for dentists and one for divorce lawyers and one for life coaches, whatever, you can go out and do that.
Someone's saying it doesn't look like SERPShake has a niche, just a locality. Is there a niche I'm not seeing?
Yeah, so like I said, there's two different options. So you can either go for city plus SEO, or you can go for profession plus SEO. So with SERPShake, it's only focused actually on Singapore SEO. And in a sense, I guess that is a niche because we get a lot of inquiries from people, so within Singapore, that only want to work with local agencies. So by setting up this kind of local agency, you niche down into only that geographic location, and you specialize in helping Singaporean niches. And of course, you could go and generalize even further, but Singapore is pretty small, so it wouldn't make sense for me to build a marketing agency in Singapore for dentists, because maybe there's 10 or 20 dentists in Singapore, I don't know, but not a lot. But in different cities, in other cities, of course, it makes more sense to target that. So basically, both models work.
Okay. Someone's saying, I'll be able to buy this course, but later this month. Do you want to talk about getting the bonuses and whatnot?
Yeah, so this is a special one-time limited deal that we're running together with the Hoth. So the Hoth credits that we're offering together with the bonuses, okay, they're not going to be available in a month's time. This is a kind of one-time deal. You need to act now. If you go to marketinginc.com/the Hoth, which is the page where you can join, and you'll notice there's a timer, a countdown timer on there, okay? And at this time, I can't check the page, but I think we have about an hour and a half remaining on that, maybe even just an hour. So when the timer hits 0, I think we're going to pull that offer. So this is literally a one-time kind of thing, and you need to make the decision to act now. I don't know if you want to say anything about that, Clayton?
Yeah, I agree with that. If you're still on the webinar and you're thinking about it, it's probably for you, so you should probably just hop on. So yeah, that's pretty much all I have to say about that.
Yeah.
Let's see what else we got here, man. How quickly could you get to the front page for New York SEO? Good question.
Well, I honestly think, like New York and LA and those really big major cities, don't start off with them. Especially if you're not experienced with it, if you don't have a lot of money to throw at this, don't start with those big cities. Okay, it's going to be competitive. It's going to be difficult. Start with a more smaller, medium-sized city, and you can build your way up from there. Don't go for the giants. And actually, that's true for the professions also. The 3 most common professions that people go for, when they hear this kind of stuff, it's going to be like dentists, plumbers, and lawyers, okay? And those are going to be the most competitive industries. There's tons and tons of different industries. When you join Marketing Inc., by the way, we give you a list of 100 plus industries that you can go into. But try and think a bit outside the box, because if you go for those obvious, kind of competitive ones, not only are you going to struggle to rank, but when you do, it might not be as profitable as other industries. There's industries that are way, way more profitable. Personally, I'm a big fan of the luxury industry, so luxury car rentals, helicopter charters, jet charters, yacht charters. Leads are worth tens of thousands of dollars in those industries, so you can do really well there.
Cool. Someone's asking about a payment plan.
A payment plan? Yeah, we didn't mention this on the webinar, but actually if you go to the checkout page at marketinginc.com/the Hoth, there is a 2-pay option there for 2 times $547. So you're welcome to take that payment plan on the page, and that is there.
Cool. Let's see. We got a bunch of different stuff. Let's see if we have any more comments come in here. If you guys have any more questions or whatever, you can feel free to throw them in the chat while I'm going to see if there's anything previously. And someone's asking, what do you use for market research?
In terms of like a keyword tool or something, I just use the free keyword planner. So basically, market research, for me, I don't have any fancy tools or any secret strategies. I just go to Google and I start digging into industries, and I just do a bit of searching. What are high average customer professions? What are professions? What are expensive hobbies? That kind of thing. And you start digging a bit, and if you find something that shows it has potential, dig a little bit more. And it's actually really straightforward and amazing how easy it is to get to these kind of industries that not a lot of people talk about, but they're worth a lot of money. For example, even commercial kind of contracting services, so anything related to home remodeling, interior decorating, kitchen remodeling, carpeting, flooring, that sort of stuff is worth a lot of money. And they're not like sexy industries, You're not like, wow, I want to go and start an agency for, carpeting or something. But if you're able to generate leads for businesses, they're worth hundreds of thousands of dollars per lead. You can get paid very nicely for that.
Cool. We got a great question. Someone asked, every business I talk with, they expect to only pay about $200-300 a month. How can I get that up to $1,000 to $2,000 a month?
Yeah, so that's like what I was saying actually, and that's what the whole webinar, the concept was about. When you have to approach people, okay, when you have to approach businesses and you have to try and sell them on why they need digital marketing or why they have to spend money on it or the return that they can get from it, it's difficult, okay? But when you reverse the situation and you get them coming to you, whether it be through a website they find in Google, so ranking for, city plus SEO or profession plus SEO, whether through it's a Facebook ad or a Google ad, if they come to you, they already know they need that service. They already know they need to spend it, and they're already prepared to spend, $1,000, $2,000, $5,000. So I think mainly it's just about the approach towards the client. Get them coming to you. Don't try and go to them. And I mean, honestly, if a business is only prepared to pay $200 or $300 a month, don't work with them. I mean, they're not even worth your time. If any business is a serious business, and they can't afford to spend two or four or 5,000, even $1,000 minimum per month, it's a joke. How do they expect to pay their employees, pay their rent, everything, and grow their business if they only want to spend $200 or $300 per month? So, you can go the hard way of trying to educate them and telling them, if they spend $1,000, these are the leads that they can get. This is what they can get, in terms of ROI, and you can explain it to them. And sometimes that works, okay? Sometimes they'll see it, they'll be hesitant. But the easiest thing is to get people coming to you.
Yeah, I agree with that 100%, man. And actually, the more specific you can be, the more niche you can get, it makes it 1,000 times easier. Because a lot of businesses that in that kind of category that only want to pay a few $100s a month, they're getting hit up like every day by every SEO company under the sun, going, hey, we can rank you, and they just kind of ignore that. But if you say, hey, look, we only work with this industry, and we know things that nobody else knows. We're not going to make a general plan for you. We're going to make a very specific thing, and the value goes up exponentially from there. So it makes it way easier to charge. You can service that audience a lot better. So yeah, I agree with that 100%, man. Let's see what else we got. Let's see. Someone's asking more about tools. I think, Dan, if you want to clarify, you're asking about SEO Marsh or Moz. If you want to clarify a question, we could probably speak to it better. But in terms of tools, it just depends. Like, for instance, if you're doing keyword research, Diggy says he uses the AdWords Keyword Planner. It's totally free. It's less important about the tool as what you're trying to do with it. I mean,
Yeah.
I see this kind of a lot. It's a very common thing that entrepreneurs do. You guys I see people being like really, really smart, like being almost too smart, like asking questions that are really specific, where it's actually going to hold you back if you think about it too much. It's much better to just use brute force and start taking action than to try to find like the perfect tool or the perfect strategy. Do you think,
Yeah.
you probably see that a lot, I imagine.
Yeah. Action taking is 90% of the work. I always think, the Pareto principle, 80-20, you want to spend 80% of your time taking action and just 20% studying the materials and kind of learning. If it's the other way around, then it's much more likely that you're not going to be successful. So 80% action, okay? So here's a question by Tyler. What should I expect to set aside for the monthly budget to implement this? And that's a good question, and that's actually very important. So firstly, I want to say Marketing Inc. is a one-time fee, okay? So if you join for the $997, there's not going to be yearly fees, there's not going to be upsells of any sort, no monthly recurring fees, nothing, okay? So you get everything up front, instant access to everything, and you get access to all the future upgrades for life. So we upgrade this every year. Marketing Inc. has been around for 3 years, so we make sure it's relevant. We keep adding case studies, et cetera, et cetera. You get access to all of that from here going forward at no additional cost, okay? In terms of monthly budget, we've literally had students who started making money and landed their first client with spending, $50, $100, okay? If you really want to, we show you the methods, how you can go out and how you can do this without investing a huge amount of money. Obviously, that being said, if you do have a couple of $100s a month and you want to invest in some tools like autoresponder, maybe you want to get hosting, you could set up your own site, spend some money, with backlinks. Like now you're getting $100 in Hoth credits that you can use for backlinks and stuff. If you have a couple $100 a month at most, that would be enough. But if you really want to, you can get started with a very small budget, land your first client, reinvest the money, grow your agency like that.
Cool. Let's see what else we got. And I was gonna comment on that as well. It's kind of like doing client services is a really great way to get started, because all you really need is someone to pay you first, and then all of your stuff is covered. For instance, let's say like as opposed to you starting your own website in some kind of industry and trying to make money. Basically, you just need to sell one client on something, and they pay for all of their services, all of the outsourcing that you're going to do, plus the profit that you're going to keep. So let's say you sell a client for $1,000, you can spend $500 of that on outsourcing. They'll get more than $1,000 of value because you know the strategy, and then you keep the $500. So it's a really cool way to get started and actually get some cash flow going right in the beginning without investing a ton of money.
Yeah, absolutely. And that's actually what most people do, when they talk about getting the setup fee. So usually you get a higher upfront setup fee. So maybe you charge them $3,000 or $4,000 or $5,000 once off as a setup fee, and this fee goes towards starting to invest in the outsources and getting them the results. And then maybe after that they only pay $1,000 or $1,500 per month as maintenance, as ongoing stuff. So you get that initial money from the client as the setup fee that you can go and invest in the outsources. You can go and get content created, links, et cetera, and you get them results within the first month, and they can see what they're paying money for. Okay, they see, hey, this is where my money's going. I'm moving up the ranks. I'm getting content, etc. And then they're happy to keep paying you the retainer. And on the retainer, that's where you make the most profit. So personally, I like to invest most of the upfront money to be able to get the results. That way, the client's happy. They keep paying you, and then the rest of that, monthly monies is like 80-90% profits.
Yeah, I agree with you 100%, man. The beginning of the client relationship is one of the most important, because that's when they're going to decide. That's when they're skeptical. They're going to decide if they're going to stick on with you. And if you really wow them in the beginning, and you spend a good amount of your budget in the beginning, then they'll be able to stay on for like a lot longer. At the same time, that'll give you the ability to, be able to upsell them going forward. You target like a few keywords to start as kind of a trial period or whatever, and then you have an opportunity, if you do a good job on those, to upsell them to a bazillion other keywords that could potentially rank for. And actually, to be honest, that's exactly what we do all the time at the Hoth. We do it for our end clients. We also do it for people that take courses like Marketing INC or agencies. They come to us and they say, hey, I have a client that's paying me X dollars per month. I need to get them results. And so this is the budget that I have, and we help work with them. You guys can buy links, you can buy blog content, all kinds of stuff. We can help you with the strategy. So the Hoth is actually meant exactly for this purpose, to be resold. So let's see what else. So, you know what? We've had a lot of really awesome comments. There's like a bazillion, like, I love this, I'm ready. But, Diggy, I would kind of actually like to address, we did get like a couple of negative comments, and I would love to just address those right up front. Someone says, fun and scam, good try.
Yeah. People are always gonna think, there's always gonna be some people who think this is a scam or not. I'm happy to show this kind of stuff. I'm happy to I showed you my PayPal. Obviously, I'm not going to go and log in right now, but if I really had to, I could. I can show you the results. I can show you our students. You can add them on Facebook. You can go and talk with them and ask them if it's a scam. Is it a scam? We're giving you 30-day refund guarantee. No questions asked. Where's the scam in that? I'd like to know.
Yeah, I think it's really important because a lot of times, man, the mindset is really, really important. I'm sure many people have come through your program with a really good mindset, and they've taken action and they've got amazing results, just like you've shown in the screenshots. I personally know you as a friend. We've met up multiple times in real life and had a great time together. So if the Hoth is going to put their stamp of approval on something, we've definitely done our due diligence and looked into it, and so definitely it's not a scam. But at the same time, the disclaimer with that is that if you're going to have like a really bad attitude, about something like that, and you think that something is a scam, then you probably shouldn't try it. I very much worry for someone that has that kind of attitude, trying to do kind of almost anything. Um, so yeah, if you have a good attitude, then this can work for you, and it can work incredibly well. Personally, the Hoth is a very successful company. We've done a lot of growth. We had a lot of made mistakes as well, but at the same time, kind of the kind of core of your success is your ability to understand what it is that you actually want, and then believe that you can get it, whether or not something is easy or it's difficult. Because it's at times it's going to be both. Seriously, you're gonna try something to take action. You're gonna go, oh wow, that worked. Wow, that was really easy. And then other times you're gonna go, oh, this is super hard. But it really comes down to your attitude about anything, your ability to figure out what you actually want, and then believe that you can actually get it. And that's what's going to take you through those like difficult times, or those struggles, or problems, or whatever. That is kind of the core element of being successful, not just in this program, but in a lot of different stuff.
Yeah, absolutely. I agree with you, and ultimately it's your own attitude that determines the success. I mean, I'm not going to say I'm the best marketer or the best SEO or anything. There's a lot of people that are better than me. I'm just saying I struggled for a long time, and it took me multiple years to figure this stuff out. And now that I have it, I want to share it with you. And if by investing in stuff, by investing in something that's going to shortcut months or years and a lot of difficulty from your journey to success, then it's absolutely worth it. I mean, personally, I'm still spending thousands, actually tens of thousands of dollars every year on coaching and training. And what I always say to people who think, maybe $1,000 is a lot of money for a program. Of course, as an absolute term, it's hard. I mean, I worked before I started doing this. The only job I ever had, I worked in a supermarket stacking shelves, and I had to be there at 6 a.m. in the morning until like 5 p.m. and it was cold and it was terrible, and I made like $1,200 a month, for doing this stuff and getting bossed around. It was terrible. So I know, you can have to work hard for it, and maybe $1,000 is a lot of money. It doesn't matter. What matters is that if you're able to invest in yourself, it's going to pay off better than any other investment. Anything in the stock exchange, real estate, whatever it is. If you invest in yourself and you keep learning and you keep growing, that's going to give a return much bigger than anything else. And one of my favorite reasons to invest into training is not so much even for the training itself. Personally, this is what I think, but for the access that you get, both the site owners, so the product owners, the product creators, and the other members who have all paid to join. So you get access to someone who has had these results, okay? So you can message me on Facebook, you can message me on Skype, we get on webinars and we answer your questions, etc. That value is crazy. You can run your ideas by me, you can say, hey, I'm starting this agency, do you think it's a good idea, blah, blah, blah. And also, all the other members who join, who have all paid $1,000 to join, they're all at a certain level with a certain mindset. They're all investing in themselves. They all want to move forward. So by investing in Marketing Inc. and getting access to all these other members, you become part of a community that wants to move forward, and it increases the own chances of reaching success faster.
Yeah, I agree with you 100%, man. The biggest change in my life came when I actually took a chance and I invested in a course. And then I've continued to do self-education from that point on. It is literally the best investment that you can make, especially when you have something like this, an opportunity that could really change the entire trajectory of the way you make money in your life. So yeah, man, I agree with you 100%. Someone's asking if there's any other payment method available other than PayPal. Do you know the answer to that, Diggy?
Yeah, I actually just responded to him in private. I said you should be able to pay with a card directly without having to log into PayPal. That should be an option, so a credit card or debit card. But if not, I'll actually just send him a message and tell him to message me in private, and we can sort something out.
Okay, cool. Let's see. You got someone saying, do you think a restaurant niche would be good?
Personally, I don't think so, unless it's a very specialized niche, because with restaurants, you're competing against, delivery services. You're competing against massive, I don't know specific deliveries in the USA or whatever, but for example in Amsterdam, you have multiple like Foodora and stuff like that, and they're ranking for a bunch of restaurants. If you want to rank for like Mexican food, those guys are taking up the top spots. It's very difficult to compete with them. So personally, I don't think restaurants are a good industry.
Okay, cool.
Maybe
But
maybe what
you have a ton of like examples inside the course as well of good niches.
Yeah, absolutely. So Clayton, maybe I think we should take 2 or 3 more questions, give people a final chance to answer to ask any questions. We're closing in on the 2-hour mark, so
Okay, sounds good. Let's see. If you guys have any more questions, just throw them in there, and we'll wrap this up really quickly. Let's see. Any promotion coupon available presently on the Hoth package? Well, basically right now, if you hop in this marketing INC, you're going to get a $100 credit for the Hoth, and you can use that on basically any product that we have. So that's a good one to get started. Let's see what else we got.
Yeah, but by the way, guys, that is a really, really good deal. We have honestly, I'm saying this honestly, we have never ever in the history of running Marketing Inc. and promoting it and opening our doors had an offer like this. So this is really, you're getting the best deal out of everyone if you join Marketing Inc. right now.
That's how we do it, man. That's how we do it. Okay, cool, man. I don't see any more questions in there. You want to wrap up?
Yeah, that's perfect. So thank you, all of you who are still on the webinar. I appreciate it. I hope you got value out of the webinar either way. It's totally up to you. If you're on the fence, and you don't know, maybe it's not for you. Again, we do have a 30-day refund guarantee. So if you want to join, and it's not for you, there's no risk on your end. Otherwise, I hope I added some value to your life. I hope you can take some of these principles, apply to your business, make more money, and just improve and go forward. And I want to thank you, Clayton, for offering us the chance to have this. So thank you, everybody. Have an awesome day. Be great.
Cool. Cheers, guys.